Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. What's up, guys? Hamsterwheel here. Um, what you're looking at is an update about Classic WoW from the developers themselves. That's right, Blizzard, the big boys. And I haven't read it yet, so I'm going to read it out with you guys. And if you want to see the article yourself, I'll make sure to link it in the video description. But for now, let's check out what they have to say. Once again, I'm going in completely blind. I have no idea what they're gonna say, so here we go. Man. Dev Water Cooler, World of Warcraft Classic. Greetings, development of World of Warcraft Classic is underway, and we're very excited to share some of the challenges and solutions we're working on. Okay, so they're saying that they're working on Classic WoW as we speak, which means they're not just leaving it to the side and working on BFA. That's good. As we mentioned last BlizzCon, the process of restoring the classic game is not straightforward, and it's important to us to take the time and effort to get it right. This includes poring over numerous game versions, data, and code, meticulously scrutinizing all the changes we've made over the years. Rest assured, the WoW Classic team is working hard at making it a reality, and we're at a point in development where we're ready to share some of the things we've been working on. Nice. Okay, here we go. WoW Classic, the first prototype. The first and among the most important decision we had to make was which version of the game to focus on. Ah, yes, this is what we've discussed before on I don't know how many podcasts. As many of you have noted, the classic period was 2 years long and full of changes. Core features like Battlegrounds were introduced in patches after WoW's original launch, and class design similarly changed over time. After careful consideration, we decided on patch 1.12, Drums of War, as our foundation, because it represents the most complete version of the classic experience. Hold up. Ayo, hold up. Hold up. So this means that you're just gonna take fucking Nostalria's code or whatever, or whoever programmed the 1.12 client the best, since that's going to be their foundation. I mean, that's what I'm getting from this. But let's read some more. Let's not jump to conclusions just yet. Once we had our starting point, we began taking stock of what we had in the source code and what we could make available, which included restoring the original development database from archival backups. After stitching various key pieces together, we had a locally rebuilt version of patch 1.12 running internally. The team could create characters and do basic questing, leveling, and dying, which we did many times, for testing purposes, obviously. Nice little joke in there, keep things lighthearted. Kind of the Blizzard touch there. Our initial runs exposed a few accepted issues. The game sometimes crashed, didn't recognize our modern video cards. Well, that's odd. And was incompatible with our current login system. That first pass also couldn't support any of our modern security and anti-cheat capabilities. Clearly, we had a lot of work to do to make Classic live up to the Blizzard standard of quality and deliver the experience players want. Okay. The path forward, second prototype. Speaking of engineering, World of Warcraft is a very data-driven game, which means the basic code is flexible and the specific way it behaves is controlled by information contained in databases. Things like quests, monsters, items, and the rules for how these all interact are defined by the designers and artists in data. So we asked ourselves, would it be possible to deliver an authentic classic experience if we took our modern code with all its back-end improvements and changes and use it to process the patch 1.12 game data? What? Okay. While that might seem counterintuitive, this would inherently include classic systems like skill ranks, old quests, and terrain talents, and so on, while later features like transmog and achievements would effectively not exist. Okay, they were entirely absent from the data. Good, because we don't want any of that shit. After weeks of R&D, experimentation, and prototyping, we were confident we could deliver the classic WoW content and gameplay without sacrificing the literally millions of hours put into back-end development over the past 13 years. While our initial effort helped us determine the experience we wanted to provide, This second prototype really defined how we'd get there. Starting from a modern architecture with all its security and stability changes means the team's efforts can be focused on pursuing an authentic classic experience. Good, and they definitely should. An authentic classic experience. That's good. It's good that they're talking about that. Not an altered classic experience, not a classic experience with a few features. No, authentic classic experience. So that's good. Any differences in behavior between our development builds and the patch 1.12 reference can be systematically cataloged and corrected while still operating from a foundation that's stable and secure. Digging in. So what does it take to recreate an authentic classic experience with modern engineering? Let's start by categorizing the different types of game data that make up WoW. Table data, this is the kind of information is always represented as numbers. How many hit points a creature has, the amount of strength an item grants, or where and when certain creatures spawn are all examples of the numerical data we store in our databases. We can also store and enforce relationships between different pieces of data. Okay. File data. This is often very dense data like 3D models, textures, animations, and terrain. Our user interface is built up from XML and Lua files. Many of the art files do not use the same file formats that commercial art tools spit out. Our build pipeline takes these raw art files and translates them into something optimized for our game to read and process. And then we have the Lua script. Some features are driven by Lua scripts written by designers, allowing them to easily define custom behaviors for server-side logic without requiring deep engineering logic. Okay. That's it's a lot of hoobajoo because I'm not really that technical, but okay. How engineering has changed. One challenge we face is that all the classic data is in the original format used at launch, but that format has changed substantially in the intervening years. Major works need to be done in this area to make the modern client compatible with the classic data. For example, spells could originally only perform 3 actions on the spell's target in table form. That looks something like this. Okay, you got Fireball, Frostbolt, deal damage, apply aura. Okay, you got damage and shit. And damage over time, I guess. This is the dot from Fireball, obviously. And this is the damage. And I guess the aura here is probably like the slow damage from Frostbolt and shit. As you can see, there's a lot of space taken up by nothing. Over the course of WoW's lifetime, we've improved our data's design, and normalized much of our database data. Wow, okay, dataception. Today, that same data would be separated out like this. Okay, so instead of this, it's just this, where they have like, well, a lot less nothing, basically. In this form, there's much less wasted space, and spells are no longer limited to 3 effects. But before we can load any database data, we need to transform the old data layout into the new one. This is not limited to spells, as almost every game system, including items, creatures, player characters, spawning AI, and more, has its database layout altered over the years. And then the last part, looking ahead, all the work we're doing will ultimately allow us to create an authentic classic experience on a platform that is much more optimized and stable, helping us avoid latency and stability issues. Additional improvements will include modern, okay, here we go, improvements. Modern anti-cheat botting detection, sure, we're fine with that. Customer service and battle.net integration, well, again, I don't really mind it that much. That's kind of expected. And similar convenience that do not affect the core gameplay experience. Similar conveniences. Well, I guess like a login screen and shit like that. I'm guessing they don't mean like in-game features, because they're saying it will not affect the core gameplay experience. So I think we're good here. We're looking forward to the challenges ahead and share your passion for the classic game. Every code check in data conversion we make brings WoW Classic closer to providing that authentic experience you and we want. Thanks for joining us on this journey. Okay. Based on what they say, this is actually quite good news. What they're saying is they're finally giving us some in-depth detail on some of the problems they face, and and basically how they're trying to give us the authentic experience, but with like a modern touch up. Not as in like they're not saying we're gonna implement rate find and all that shit. They just want a better anti-cheat. They want it to be integrated into the BattleNet system, which again I understand. So this is pretty good. I'm still kind of like, it's staggering. The first prototype, they used the 1.12 patch, like right here. There's no way they did that without Nostarius's help. They had to have done it without their help, but there's just no way. Okay. Well, again, this is pretty damn good news. They're finally opening up to us. They're finally saying where they are. They're saying that, you know, we all know they're working on BFA, but they also have a dedicated team that right now is working on Classic, and they're really taking their time to make sure every little thing is correct, like this whole database thing they're talking about right here. Damn. Okay. Well, right now, as of right now, I'm pretty pleased. This is pretty huge. After I don't know how long of nothing from the developers, no news, no whatever. So this is awesome. It's great. I can't wait to see more of this type of news, and I really hope Blizzard is going to give us updates regularly now. If I can give them any advice, if anyone from Blizzard is listening right now, I doubt I will, but if anyone's listening right now, try to be as transparent as you can. Be transparent with us. Be open with us. You know, this is good. This is good. We need more, we need more shit like this. This is great. Keep us updated and be transparent. So, yeah, I'm gonna say it. Good job, Blizzard. Thanks for letting us know a few things about the development of Classic WoW. And that's all I have to show you guys. So let me know in the comment section what you guys think about this. Is this great news? Is this bad news? What do you think is in there that you don't like? Because so far I'm pretty positive about this. So there you go, guys. New update. Once again, the link to the article will be in the description. You can check it out yourself. And yeah, I'll be back with another video or another stream. But until then, I'm Hamsterwheel, and have a good one.